to another podcast. We're here in the Dominican Republic with our technical director from Turks and Caicos. My name is Aaron Lawrence. I want to welcome you, Dane Ritchie. Welcome
so much,
to the
Aaron.
program.
Pleasure to you.
We're just going to sit and have a chat. We're here relaxing, vibing. Have another chat, another episode, where, we talk to personalities in sports and in entertainment and in music. So I want to welcome you again, Richie. Mr. Dane Ritchie, who is the technical director for the Turks and Caicos Football Association. Dane Ritchie, welcome. I just want to ask you, your life in general, we want to speak about your life in general. You background, so to speak, where you from? I know you're from Jamaica. Now you're Jamaican, and we just want to know. Tell me a little bit more about where you're from and so forth.
All right, so Dane Ritchie, I'm from, a humble community of the Yardley Chase.
Yeah.
Southfield, St. Elizabeth, country. Grew up going to Monroe College. Went back here to actually teach as well. So I became involved in football from Monroe College, coaching under 16 football.
Yeah.
And also in my community.
Okay.
That was my first, sort of coaching experience in football.
I know you as a teacher by profession because I met you in Turks and Caicos when I just come to Turks and Caicos. We met and we sit down and talk. I see you were coaching, but I know that you're a teacher by profession. How was the role as a teacher? How you find it as a teacher?
Well, I would say coaching and teaching is pretty much one and the same to me, because you're helping those to understand what they do.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept to me, and I was teaching from 2001 until 2022 when I took over as technical director. But while I was teaching, I was also involved in coaching. And I got exposure to coaching courses and that sort of experience, also coaching teams at the youth level in Turks and Caicos.
Okay, so how you teach? What subject area that you teach?
I used to teach information technology actually.
Yeah.
And most people look at me, they ask me if I'm a PE teacher.
For me personally, I think you was a PE teacher until I get to know that you're a technology guy, where you're a tech. So how was it in that field? How you get to come to Turks and Caicos, and because I know you teach, they draft you in to come as a teacher. How
I was at Monroe and I got familiar with my colleagues there, and one of them actually came to Turks.
Okay.
And started working, and he said, Richie, I'm going to try and get you up here. And I made the application, did the interview, and they called me and hired me. So it was through that sort of connection where I got the opportunity.
And sky's the limit from there.
Sky's the limit.
And I come to, when I come to Turks, I see you coaching the academy team there, where you all win a plenty championship. What was it like coaching those youngsters in the academy?
It was a real pleasure coaching those boys. I mean, you would know a whole lot of them now.
Yeah.
Working with the academy and the national team, that they would have transitioned from those days to now to be senior players. But it was a real pleasure, helping those guys to, make themselves better as individuals, and also helping them to understand football a little better. I mean, we went through some tough times in those days in terms of playing international games against the likes of Haiti, Trinidad, with the national team, under 20s. And those same set of guys that were on the Eagles team, on the Jaguars team at that time, were part of that setup. So it was a transition for them, but the experience from under 20s coming up really helped them. It was a real pleasure working with those.
That's good. But from teaching, now you are the technical director of the Turks and Caicos Football Association. You know, you control the program, so to speak, now as a director. How you get into that transition, you know, from a teacher to becomes a technical director, you know, here in Turks, to how that come about? How you?
So I mean, I think I always say this, that if you're prepared for something and the opportunity comes, then it will come to you. Now, while I was teaching, I was always involved in coaching. You know? Mr. Oliver Smith, our general secretary, he actually invited me because I was just there one evening with my first son. And he was coaching him in grassroots. He said to me, Richie, why don't you come and help me coach? And I started getting involved from there. And they sent me on, you know, courses, regional courses, to get my B license, C license, D license, and so on. And I also got involved in coach education as well. And refereeing, as you would know, I was also a FIFA assistant referee for a couple of years. And I also assisted in the development of the referees as well. And of course, at my latest or my last position was head of coach education before I became technical director. So when the opportunity came, I was always, you know, a part of the FA. And the FA saw me as the most suitable person when the opportunity come to take over the reins as technical director.
For a man, I'm gonna say a boy, not to disrespect you, for a boy from the east side of St. Elizabeth, where, you know, you go to Monroe College. You know, before I speak to Delano Williams, who's also a past student of Monroe College, now I'm speaking to you as a past student of Monroe. And, you know, to transition from Monroe, you know, the ill part of Jamaica, into Turks and Caicos, and how you made the transition. What was it like for you to make that transition?
I mean, for me, when the opportunity came to go to Turks and Caicos, I was always this person who I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience a different environment, a different place. And the opportunity came in Turks and Caicos. Really and truly, when you got to Turks and Caicos, when I got to Turks and Caicos, I was like, okay, I mean, it's a smaller place than you see in Jamaica and all of that. But I like the environment because the environment is quiet. It's a nice, peaceful place, beautiful place, of course. And I was able to continue teaching, which I love, and I was able to continue coaching, which I also love. And the opportunities just kept coming in terms of me being able to grow in the sport of football and also continue teaching. So I grabbed each opportunity as it came, and I built on whatever experience and exposure that I have over the years, and that made it easier for me. And now I'm really comfortable here in Turks and Caicos.
Nice. And also, Mr. Ritchie, you have been a referee before. You was on the FIFA panel.
FIFA assistant referee.
You know, how was it, you know, from the classroom, coaching, referee, now a technical director, you know, how the referee thing come about, you know, so to speak.
So then and there again, you know, because I was always at the FA coaching. These opportunities came to do referee courses. And I said, you know, I should be able to manage this. And I went and I did the course. You know, of course, as a beginner referee, no experience refereeing, but understanding the game, it made it easier. And then I took every single opportunity that I would get to referee as much game as possible, gain that experience at home in Turks and Caicos. And of course, the opportunity came to make it to the FIFA list. And I grabbed that with two hands. And I mean, I went on the list at a not so young age. So I mean, but the experience itself
plays a lot.
Gave me a different exposure to everything in terms of operations and how referees operate at that level. And I actually use that to help the referees back home to see if we can also get them to improve and understand what it is like at the next level.
Yeah, because I'm there at times, see you helping the other younger referees coming through. Yes, from a referee, let me get back to the technical director side of it. As a technical director, what is the role of a technical director into a FA? Because I know FAs have technical directors now. Normally, before, a technical director would say they are the coaches on the pitch and they do all that. But yes, you do coaches also, but there's a lot of things that I see you do outside of coaching. Can you share, some knowledge on it for others out there who probably want to be a technical director? What kind of role that they have to play, how they have to go about doing this role and make it becomes vibrant, because you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job as a technical director and to leaders of men, because in your department you have people who have egos, you have people who quiet, you have people who very cocky, you have people who very crazy. So how you manage it? Just tell me something about it. Oh, the technical director part of it.
All right. So I mean, the role of the technical director really is in charge of football development.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it really, where does development start?
Yeah.
Development starts at the youth stage.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much my role relates to youth development in terms of football in the country. And of course, you would know that there are 4 islands that we have football being played on. So I have to pay attention to all the different programs in those islands. Ensure that there's proper structures in place to make sure that those programs are running, and the youths are able to access football and are able to learn the game and progress up from under 6 go all the way up to let's say under 20s at the national level. So my focus is really youth teams, right? Of course, you have to think about regular football, you have to think about beach soccer, you have to think about also futsal in terms of the development of those sports as well. All right, and also, as you said, managing the staff in the technical department, which is the coaches, and of course, everybody has different personalities. And I think from my previous role as a head of department, while I was teaching, that also helped me to be able to transition to be able to manage persons within the department. And of course, if you have an understanding that everybody is different and everybody will behave different, but you have to learn their personalities and you have to learn how to interact with each individual, then it makes your job easier as a leader in any sphere.
Okay, great. There's a lot of work that you have to be done into that department to organize and to prepare things for the teams, especially the youth teams. Now we're here at the Dominican Republic, where you're here, representing the Turks and Caicos on the under 17 girls qualifying for the World Cup Championship that is coming up this year. How is it going so far? How is it going with the team? What are the expectation and what is happening now with the team while we're here in the Dominican Republic?
So yes, it's a pleasure to be here with these girls, of course. I mean, it's World Cup qualifiers, so it's a big deal. Yeah. And we are playing with teams that are ranked above us, or some teams that are ranked above us.
Yeah.
The girls they're enjoying it, and I mean they're enjoying the experience and they're gaining from the experience also. We have played one practice game thus far with Grenada, and we lost that one 2-1, but it was a very good game for the girls to really, feel out the international opponent. And then we played against Panama last night in our first qualifiers game. Unfortunately, we lost 9-0, but you could see where the players tried to play in a way that they were instructed by the coaches. And at least you can look at that to say that at least these players are understanding how they're supposed to be played. What is it that the coach requires from them?
So you're saying now that the future is bright for Turks and Caicos female football, based on what you see from the girls here in the friendly game and also the international game against Panama. So you think there's a bright future for these girls?
most definitely once these girls stick to the program, attend training consistently, follow the instructions of coaches. And this group is actually a young group of players that are actually competing with girls who are maybe a year or even 2 years older than some of them. So it means that some of these girls will be playing next year and possibly the following year.
Oh, wow.
So this sort of exposure at this age, competing against girls who are 17 years old, most of them, from the other countries, then it means that this experience will help them in the future. And we just want to see also that others who are home watching will look at this and say, listen, I can do this as well, and I can be better than this group, or I can learn something from this group. So that is what we are looking to build on with these female teams, or this female team.
Okay. I know you're a father. You have your son that played on the 17 team.
Yes.
And he played on the under 15 team also. I know you have two sons. Well, both of them play. One is more of a business side. He wanted to work and make money. And that side, and one is now playing for the national team, waiting to go to play for the under 17. How is it as a parent and as a coach, and as a technical director, what kind of advice that you give to your son, when he's going to play, or when is he?
Well, he's always reflective of his games, and he always come and give me a question: how did I play tonight? What can I improve on? And as much as possible, I try to guide him in terms of what can he do better each game.
Yeah.
And he has to take those pointers and try to apply in his game. And of course, he has to follow what the coach's instructions are.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to be in my role as a technical director and be able to flip the hat and say, no, I'm done. So I have to give him the advice. But of course, I try my best to. And I mean, in the role in terms of being in the same space as a technical director, I know that he's now a player. He's with the coach over there, so I now have to allow him to be able to manage his environment.
Yes.
Then I give him that space, and I also give him my advice where I can.
That's good. That's good to know that you never played the sports at the highest level,
right?
And to know that you have a son now who's playing the sports at the highest level, it's supposed to be a joy for you. I have 3 sons. I have a last boy now who's probably wanted to play, and my first son played, at the highest level, but where I would want him to, the level that I would want him to go, never get there. So I hope that your son get to that highest level. My son, go either for Jamaica, play, youth 17, but transition to college, and then that's it. But we hope that your son can make it to the higher level and all them things that, sometimes it never work out the way you want it. Sometimes it work out the way you want it. So, that's life. That's life, and we just have to live and work and move forward. Tell me something about Dane Ritchie that no one out there in the world. Speak to the camera, on the podcast of Aaron Lawrence. Tell somebody something about Dane Ritchie, what we haven't known for.
Well, I'm a person who is kind of very reserved and private, but I mean, I am a simple person. I try to do my best in anything that I'm working on. I look out for people. I try to make sure that, especially some of these youths that we work with, that you try to guide them along the right path. Yeah. And that is important for me, because you have seen so many who have gone through, and then some of them take the wrong direction in life. But for me, I think that is one of the most important things. How can we guide them to be better young men and women? Yeah. So whoever we work with. But I'm a really simple guy. I don't go up.
Richie, you don't want to give away no secrets. You don't want to.
But there's not a lot in terms of what people don't know about. Yeah. I'm simple.
I noticed that. I noticed that. So I was just trying to draw out something out of you. If there's something there where hiding in the closet where nobody know about Dane Ritchie. But before we close, Richie, there's anything that you want to say to Turks and Caicos sports in general, not only football, but sports in general? There's anything that you think you want to say to the people out there to give them an impact to their life as a sport personality and as a person, final words, anything you want to add before we get...
Well, what I want to say to anybody out there, and this goes to both kids, parents, and the community at large, is that sports is an avenue that can take you places. It may not necessarily always earn you a living, but it can take you places, it can show you different places, it can give you different experiences. So if you have the opportunity to play sport, to get involved in sport, to volunteer, whatever it is, take it as an opportunity for you to help somebody. It may not be that you get $1 million out of it, but you can help somebody to progress in their life. Imagine you can help 2 boys or girls from Turks and Caicos to end up going to college and get a free education as a coach, right? That is a big deal because you would have impacted at least 2 persons in your life to get those opportunities. So for me, get involved, try something, put all your best in it, give it your all, and believe me, at the end of the day, if you don't see satisfaction in it from what people can get or benefit from it, then you're not having the right vision or the right view in terms of who you should be as a person. Or how we should be as persons.
Well, there you go. You hear it from the man, Mr. Dane Ritchie, Technical Director of the Turks and Caicos Island football team. We're here in the Dominican Republic where we're watching and playing in the under-17 female World Cup qualifying, which is a big thing for us in Turks and Caicos, a big thing for me as a coach and as a player. And, just feel free, we're vibing again, we're just relaxing here at the poolside by the hotel, just chilling and relaxing. Another episode for the Aaron Lions, podcast. Please share, like, and subscribe. And, make a comment. If you like the video, make a comment. If there's anything that we need to do better, it's all up to you. Thank you for watching. Peace out. One love. Richie, big up. Thank you, brother.
Blessings, man.